to VS. And what I'll do is just quickly switch into that. Oops. Dangerous thing to do in the middle of a demo here, because if this goes wrong, we may not get things back again. If I switch into that, that web dev code-only profile, it should only take seconds. You'll see that things get stripped away. And the one thing I wanted to show you was there are a number of services that have been switched off. So for example, my validation of my markup gets switched off. Obviously I can go back in and enable these things selectively again. But really that code-only profile has trimmed this down to the absolute bare minimum. So I can go in and add the few services and windows that I choose to have as a web dev. Let's put that back to make sure that things still work. I'll just bring back my settings. Now I mentioned snippets. For example, we want to add a doc type. We can just enter XHTML11. We get that HTML doc type in there. I say there's ASP.NET snippets, so something like, oops, text box. That was a TB shortcut, which I quite liked, but it's now been changed to text box. Some of them require a bit of typing. Required field validator's shortcut is required field validator, which is quite a mouthful to type. I say we've got script, JavaScript snippets in there as well. So if you do any ASP.NET AJAX stuff, you'll probably enjoy the control snippet that outputs all the JavaScript required for an ASP.NET AJAX control. So we have snippets now in the designer. That's lovely. The last thing I want to show you is trying to deploy this application to my server. So I have some new options here on my website. Specifically, I've got these package publish settings, which allow me to define whether I want to deploy all the files associated with my application, just the files required for it to run, whether I want to deploy my database schema, my database data, which of the connection strings I want to use to suck the data out and push it into my target, etc. I'm just going to go with a very simple deployment of this app. And I can build myself a deployment package that will compile my application down and create for me a zip file that I can deploy to IIS. If I switch over into IIS, so that application there was running on my local Visual Studio web server. If I come into IIS and just go to my default website and import an application, and we go to sessions, we're in here somewhere. It's by default it's buried down somewhere around about there, 1015, that sounds about right. And we open that package up and just hit next. Yeah, we'll go with, let's not call it that, it's rather an ugly name. Let's deploy it as demo web and deploy it as ASP.NET 4. And you'll see it has created for me an ASP.NET application under my default website, and hopefully if I just browse to it, it has deployed that application as well. Taking my life in my hands here, yeah, sure enough, that's working okay, and Output Cache is working as well. So it's a new mechanism for deploying your application settings, SQL Server schema, and SQL Server data as well. And I'll demo that tomorrow when I talk about